All right, all right, all right. Getting started. Let me go share this real quick and then
Okay.
I'll get started. All right. We are live. Okay, okay,
Hey.
okay. Hey, everybody. Um, this is the Balanced Lifestyle series, and today I am with Nicole. We're hanging out today. I just want to kind of give for people who may be watching me for the first time or caught the show before, but basically the Balanced Lifestyle series is an opportunity for myself and when I bring in guests to be able to empower women. As women, we wear many hats. We're mamas, we're wives, girlfriends, active church members, business people, you name it, employees, whatever. We wear many hats, and sometimes it can be a very challenge trying to keep track of everything. And I started the Balanced Lifestyle series because I don't really just believe in one part of our life. I really believe in us being empowered in every area of our life. And it's really based on the John 10:10 of how God came to give us a life and a life more abundantly. And I truly believe that we are called to live an abundance of life in every area of our life. So everybody that I bring on and when I speak is just to empower women in each area of their life so they can live that abundant life that God has called us to live. So with further ado, my name is Grace. I am the CEO of Smile Biz LLC, Single Moms Incredibly Living Empowered. It's a personal development company where I teach women how to live a balanced lifestyle so they can be able to gain a life of peace, prestige, purpose, and prosperity. As I said, to live that abundant life that they are called to live. So that's me. I am a transformational coach. I am a speaker and published author. I'm also by trade a board certified psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner. So I do treat and diagnose mental health illnesses, substance use disorder. So listen, I do it all. I do it all. So I just want to talk a little bit about my guest today, Nicole. So let me tell you something. When it comes to me bringing people on my show, it's really about alignment. I truly believe about being aligned. So I don't just attach myself to anybody. God really puts me people in connections in different spaces. And Nicole and I are pretty much in similar spaces. And how I met Nicole, I met Nicole last year. Shout out to our first coach, Marshawn and Jack Daniels.
Woo!
Woohoo! So I met Nicole at this speaking and coaching retreat. It was so amazing. I got to meet so many different women in different walks of life, but we connected at this in this retreat, and I just love Nicole. Nicole is just like, I don't know, she's just a bubble of rain. Y'all think I'm hype on life? Y'all think I'm lit? Listen, Nicole just brings joy. Look at her smile. She just brings joy. Listen, you can have a bad day and you'll read a post by Nicole and you'll just completely be encouraged, like just like that. So I truly, truly love Nicole, and I don't want to hold us up because we only have a little limited time. So I want Nicole to just go ahead and introduce herself, and we can get started. Floor is
Hey.
yours.
Yes. Well, Grace, thank you so much for inviting me into your space and just for all the wonderful things that you have already said. I echo the same sentiments about you, and I'm so glad that we can be in this space together, really empowering women and helping them show up in excellence in every single area of their life. As
Amen.
you mentioned, I am Nicole Rhone. I am a capacity coach and the CEO of Flourishing LLC. And I primarily work with women who are looking to really gain balance between their personal and their professional lives. Because, as you said too, we wear so many different hats as mamas, as wives, as sisters, as the go to people. And sometimes, really trying to navigate and wear all of those hats and wear them well can be extremely difficult. So I help coach women and help them figure out how to really create that balance by looking internally at their capacity so that they can show up in excellence in every single area of their life sustainably.
Yeah, sis, I love it. You know me. I love me. I love me some self care.
Yes,
As you
yes,
can
yes,
see,
yes,
I love me some self care.
yes.
So that actually brings up to what we were saying. And I really thank you so much, Nicole. You could have been anywhere today, but you chose to be here, and I really think it was God's divine. I like to say divine connections, kingdom connections that brought
Yeah.
you here for us to connect and be able to pour into women, blurring to whoever is going to watch the replay. I really hope people be blessed by this because,
Mhm.
as you said, it's so much with 2020 is self, right?
Ooh.
Man, it's so much going on right now, right? We're in December now, but 2020 has been something else. When God gave me the word for 2020, he told me vision. I asked the Lord last year for a word for 2020. And
Mhm.
he sent me a YouTube video that said vision, right?
Mm.
Up. I'm like, oh, vision. Okay, we about to see something in 2020. I had no clue it was going to be like this. And it truly was vision because it was exposing things, right?
Mhm.
Because it's exposing people's vulnerabilities, exposing people's the things that they're going through. So 2020 has been really hard. And I know that self-care is something that we hear about a lot of times now. And it's kind of like, I believe it's a lifestyle, but now it's kind of like a term people use, right? So we're not
Mhm.
quite sure what self-care truly means. So my question to you, for you personally, what does self-care mean to you?
So for me, self care really means personally putting yourself first in all or most situations, right? Doing what is going to be best for you. Because as we're wearing those multiple hats, right? Whether it's at work or taking care of family members, oftentimes I know I've experienced putting what I need on the back
Mm-hmm.
burner so that I
Mm-hmm.
can take care of everybody else around me. But when you do that, you really put yourself in a hole and you put yourself in a position to where you are really emptying out your capacity, right? And you're not able to show up for yourself in a way that exudes really who you are. So for me, self care means taking the time and energy to recognize that it's okay for you to put yourself first in any of those situations.
That's good. That's good. I think we do tend to put ourselves last, right?
Not
Especially
even on the
as
to do list, right?
we're not even on the to-do list. We're on the not to-do list, okay?
Yes.
And I really believe, both of us are moms. And sometimes we get that mom guilt, right? Like, oh my God, if I put myself first, what are people gonna think
Mhm.
about me? How about my children? Even for you, you being married woman, what about my husband? It's just trying to balance all those things. And you're so absolutely correct about prioritizing yourself. If you don't
Mhm.
prioritize yourself, then you won't have anything to give to other people because you're going to be completely drained, as you said, and burnt out. And I always tell
Mhm.
people in private practice, you have to put yourself first. You just have to, it's not about being selfish, it's
Yeah.
understanding that, okay, when I put myself first, then I'll be full and then I can be able to give more to other people, right? But when you're
Yeah.
burnt out and stressed out like that, you don't have the ability to do that. So that was so good. So can you touch base? We're talking about mom guilt, you being a
Mhm.
mom. Can you touch base a little bit about that? What does that look like? Have you ever experienced that before? If you did, how'd you overcome it?
Have I? I got a 5-year-old that was mom guilting me before I got on here talking about
Wow.
mommy. I just want a hug. Can we snuggle? Boy, you know I'm about to go do something. Hush your face. Um, but no, I know all about it. I did an episode on my podcast about this and how you can manage through mom guilt because I have a 17-year-old daughter who's a senior in high school. And then we also have this 5-year-old. And I used to
Mm,
parent from a place of mom guilt because for
mm,
the longest time, I was a single mom, right? And so I let me feeling guilty that I was the only parent um, make me make choices around what I allowed her to do or not to do.
mm,
Or even more recently, since my husband and I have been married, I still have found myself parenting that way, especially in this pandemic, right? Like,
right.
because the kids don't have their same interaction with their friends, or because we've been
Mm,
stuck in the house. And so making decisions that come out of that guilt. So, yes, I've experienced that. I wouldn't say that it's something that you just are done with because it comes up at different times. But
mhm,
the way that I manage through it is to really stop and think and ask myself, am I making this decision because I feel guilty about X, Y, or Z? And is this really beneficial to not only myself and my child? So really
mhm,
kind of talking myself through that. But yeah, it's definitely a struggle. It's not something
mhm.
that I feel ever goes away. It's a
Mhm.
matter of being aware and then kind of managing through that.
Manage it through. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, even, I'm a single mom and my son is going to be 13 and trying to
Oh,
balance
girl, welcome to
everything.
the teenage years.
Girl, I posted something a couple of days ago like, I'm not ready. I am not ready for this. Like
Yeah.
I just like but my son, he's a good kid. I know
Okay.
everyone Barbie say that about their child, but I'm telling you, my child is a good kid, okay?
Good.
He's a very good kid. He's very articulate, very respectful,
Mhm.
and people are just warning me about that mood is gonna come. And he's a child
Girl.
that's kind of quiet. He definitely does not have my personality, which is
Okay.
okay. He when he speaks, he does speak when he gets, comfortable around you. So
Hmm.
sometimes I have to kind of encourage him to get like how he's feeling and going through all that stuff. And between work, running a business, it's doable. But at the same token, I have to literally make schedule time. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
make that time like, okay, Sunday is game night. No matter what, I'm not doing any work. We're not doing anything. We're gonna have game night or we have movie nights, now that
Yeah.
as you said with the COVID, it's not a lot we can do out because we usually go out a lot of times to do things together, whatever. But now we have to find other activities that we can do that's a little bit safer to do. So
Hmm.
I sometimes feel guilty during the week because I'm in the computer screen all day talking to patients. And
Yes.
then I get off work, I'm doing more business stuff. And
Yes.
he's been on school, virtual learning all day. And it's like, oh, you're like,
Yeah.
what do I do? So I always try to make that weekends. Usually the work week is kind of like business stuff. On the
Hmm.
weekends, try to make time because you have to make that time.
To
Your
do that.
children
Yeah.
need you, period. And
I
no
want to
longer,
add to that too for you. So, similarly, what I do during the week is I schedule those times out too, right? Like
mhm,
Monday night is either game night, and then one night a week we have date night, and then, um, I schedule dinner out as well. So, like, I don't care what is going on, but everybody needs to be at the dinner table
yeah,
between 5:30 and
yeah,
6:30, just so that we have that connection point. Because,
right.
to your point, we're all so embedded in our different screens and
Hmm.
with work, especially with everybody working from home. So I just wanted to piggyback on that and say, I
That's
think it's
true.
awesome that that's what you're doing because
Yeah.
scheduling it out is so
It's
important.
important. It's important. And me being a single woman, yes, I'm putting that out there. Unmarried. I ain't
Hey
single. I'm
now.
unmarried. Okay. Let's change the terminology. Okay, because I ain't single.
Yes.
So unmarried woman, okay, being an unmarried woman, you know what I'm saying? Um, that makes a lot of sense, right?
Hmm.
When I do, God does bless me with a husband. If you out there listening,
He listening, girl. He looking for you like you looking for him.
I'm messing, but if he out there listening, but that you scheduling date night, that is great. Not too many people that, and that can start causing issues too in your marriage, right? When you don't have that connection, because you
Yeah.
can't allow your business, your career, all that stuff get in place of your marriage. So that is
Hmm.
amazing that you and your husband do that. I commend you that. I'll be
Thank
doing
you.
that when I get married.
And let me say too, like it's not always easy. Sometimes there are days that we have stuff scheduled and life comes up, right? So we may not always have our date night. We may not always have our separate time with the kids, but at least trying to be intentional about it is one of the ways that I help not only myself but my clients and coaching through that. So yeah, it's good to put it on there and trying to follow through, but I also want to let everybody know to give yourself grace too, right? Because that's where that frustration can also come in where you feel like, oh, I got to be here at this time to do this, 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 and this. Sis, breathe. Give yourself a little bit of grace
Give it
in
some grace.
between while
Baby,
you don't have so much going
baby.
on.
Your hubby on here said, yes, she does. See,
Ah,
he knows. He knows what's up.
hey,
Seriously.
Mr. Rhone.
It's called intentional commitment. I do that in coaching too. I tell people like put it on the calendar, schedule it. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
when you schedule it, then it gives you that reminder. Okay, there's something I got to do. But what you
Mm-hmm.
said was so profound. You got to give yourself grace, right? You definitely got to
Mm-hmm.
give yourself that grace to be able to do those things. So that's amazing. Thank you for that.
You're
So
welcome.
challenges affecting your self-care? Like, so what comes up that can, as you say, give yourself that grace because things will come up in your life. So
Mm-hmm.
what challenges affect your self-care?
I would say, honestly, just being a mom, right? That's one of the biggest things. We talked a little bit about mom guilt, and I also want to share that my 17-year-old has chronic migraines, right? And
Mm,
so, with that, sometimes there are things that I can't control that come up, right? Like if she has a migraine and she recently became epileptic. So, kind of dealing with those
mm,
things too. Also, if there is a project that's going on at work, right? And I need to be there to do X, Y, and Z. Sometimes those things get in the way of self care. And so
right.
while I have a morning routine or I have an evening routine and I may schedule to go work out on my lunch break or whatnot, sometimes those things get in the way. And so what I've learned to do is literally go with the flow, right?
Mhm,
Like in those moments, giving myself grace again to say,
mhm,
hey, yes, I have this time scheduled, but this is happening right now, so I got to pivot and shift gears, and you keep it moving, but then you don't forget about it. You got to come back to it, right?
that's right.
So still, again, being intentional, making that time for you to do whatever it was that you set out to do, and understanding, although it may not be identical to how you wanted to do it. For
Mhm,
example, like I wanted to get up and go to my boxing class this morning at 9:30, but I overslept a little bit, and my husband was still asleep, and my son needed to eat breakfast, and we had all kind of stuff that was going on. So instead of that, I went for a walk, right? Was I a
yeah.
little frustrated? Of course, I wanted to go, get my boxing
Oh,
out.
that's
But
right.
but the walking was an alternative, and I did it a
Right.
little bit later in the day. So
Yeah.
yeah, so when things like that come up, it's really just pivoting and finding a different alternative to help you accomplish what it is that you were trying to accomplish.
So basically, make sure that you have some flexibility, not to be so
Yes.
stringent because things can happen.
Yes.
And I think that's what gets us is we get so caught up. Oh my God, this gotta go this way, this gotta go that way. That
Gotta
perfectionist
be
thing,
perfect in this box.
perfect square in the box, and then you wind up wondering why you overwhelmed.
Yes, because you
It's
got too much on your plate
you
and
got
you're
too
trying
much
to
on your
be
plate,
perfectionist.
and you want to control everything.
Yes. Yes. And I tell everybody, I'm a recovering perfectionist, right? My husband might not agree to that, but whatever. I do like to have control of things. And I've found myself getting so extremely overwhelmed when things don't go according to plan. And so, again, in those moments, breathe, take a minute, take a few breaths, realize that it doesn't have to be exactly that way, and giving yourself that grace. So, thank you for
Right.
saying that. That
Yeah.
flexibility is
You need
everything.
flexibility because
Yes.
you wear so many hats, you do so much stuff. You need to have flexibility. Like you said, you need to be able to pivot. And I think that's another reason why people struggled. And I'm about to post what your husband said. He said, you
Ah!
lying.
You know what?
I sure did. Sorry,
We
Nicole. That
gonna
was
fight
too
when
sweet.
I
I
get
had to
off of
post
this, sir.
it. But he said, but she's trying. So I posted that. He redeemed himself.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, but I think that's what people are struggling with a lot in COVID. You're talking about that pivoting because they're so used to a certain routine, and now all this thing thrown at them is like, okay, what do I do now, God? So that
Hmm.
you have to be able to have that flexibility because anything can happen in life, and you just gonna have to deal with those challenges that come because nobody's life is perfect. So this is the season where people better learn some flexibility and transition.
Yeah,
It ain't easy. It
because
ain't
this
easy.
isn't going away either, right? Like you
Mm-mm.
know just as well as I do, this is the new normal. And so
Mm-hmm.
learning how to be flexible and have
Mm-hmm.
this fluidity between all the different roles that we are playing, we
Yeah.
have to be able to do that. So if
Yeah.
you don't know how to do that, you're in trouble. So y'all
Mhm.
need to reach out to us so we can help you figure that out
Listen,
ASAP.
book a call. Yes, I'm
Yes.
putting it out there. Book a call. All right. So how does the self-care or the lack of self-care impact your capacity? Because that's what we're flowing into, right? Capacity, right? Capacity. So
Yes.
how does that impact your capacity?
This is my favorite topic because I am a capacity coach. And so I want to break down capacity for a minute. So, capacity to me is your ability to show up in excellence consistently over time. And when you have so many different things on your plate, you're not able to do that.
Mm.
So when you tie that into self-care, if you are not, number one, acknowledging and understanding what's on your plate, and then on top of that, you are not doing regular maintenance and self-care on yourself, you end up burnt out, stressed out, overwhelmed, not really being able to show up as yourself at work, not being
Mhm.
able to show up as yourself as a mom, taking
Mm.
it out on the people that love you. And so
Mm.
your capacity is therefore all the way up here. You have no room whatsoever to take care of anything else because you're full of stuff.
Yeah.
And when you think about that too, I know I'm probably not the only one, but because we wear these different hats, we're taking on other people's stuff too, right?
Yes,
That's
ma'am.
impacting our capacity. Like I
Right.
said, I'm a mom, I'm a big sister, I'm a
Mhm.
wife, I'm a business owner, and I still take on other people's stuff, especially
Mhm.
from the people that we love. And so when
Mhm.
you do that, though, it impacts your ability to show up for yourself. So
Yeah.
I want people to really understand that when you practice self-care, it reduces that stress. It helps you really take a look at what your priorities are. Because if you aren't even on your priority list, how you gonna help somebody else?
That's
What you
right.
gonna help them do?
That's right.
You know?
You made a good point about taking on other people's stuff. Girl, I felt that in my spirit. I did. I felt that because I had to learn how to set boundaries. I had to learn how to set boundaries because I'm just a natural giver, which most of us are.
Mhm.
We're called to serve, right? And I
Mhm.
find myself always saying, okay, I'll do it. Yes, I got this.
I
Okay.
can do it. I
I
got it.
do it. Keep volunteering for stuff. And I'm like, and then I wonder why I'm resentful. Like, you're resentful because you did it. You did it to yourself, Grace. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Instead of communicating, you know what? I ain't got it. I can't do that
Mhm.
right now. You just can't because what it winds up doing is making you overwhelmed. You're going to wind up being overwhelmed. And as you said, you
Mhm.
won't even rise up to the level of excellence when you're stretched like that.
Yeah.
There's so much of you can really go different places. There's
Yeah.
no clone of you, there's no twin of you, right? So you can't be so stressed like that. So we have to learn how to set healthy boundaries and tell people no. No, you can say the word no. It does not make you a mean person. It
No
means
complete sentence
it's a complete sentence. No.
and
In
needs no
every language,
explanation.
most languages, no is no, right? I don't
Right.
know the language.
In
If no,
Spanish,
no is no.
French, English, all of that, right?
All
It's
that is
no.
no. And you don't
But
have to
people
be mean
struggle
on
with
how you
that.
say it, but you have to be able to communicate your needs because people are not mind readers. And
Yeah.
I don't think most people are intentionally out to get you or trying to manipulate you, do stuff. I don't really
Mhm.
believe that everyone's like that, but people see that you're reliable and they tend to lean on you more, right? And so you have to
Yes.
learn how to say no because then that gives you, when you say no to someone else, you're basically saying yes to yourself, you know?
Yes.
So that's
Yes.
important. I'm glad that you touched base on that. That's so, so important about us being able to show up for ourselves and show up for our jobs and for the people that we love. So for you, start breaking down what the capacity kind of looks like. You said you had the 5 flow pillars.
Yes, sorry, I'm waving my incense around, girl.
Okay.
The wind has shifted a bit in here.
It's shifted.
Yes. So with capacity, I have 5 different pillars of flow because on my podcast, it is called Flow and Flourish, where I help women to show up in excellence in each and every one of these areas. So the first one is heart flow. And for me, that's everything and everybody that pulls on your heartstrings, right? That impacts the decisions that you make about yourself, about your business, about how you're going to show up. So checking what's going on in your heart and really being able to have an open and honest conversation with yourself before you can do it with anybody else. So aside from heart flow, we also have workflow because we all got to make money, right? So whether
Yes.
you are a an entrepreneur or you're in the corporate space or you're doing a little bit of both, in that area, we really focus on being fulfilled because many of us are running around working at jobs that we do not like or pursuing careers because we thought that's what we were supposed to do and trying to figure that out. And so I help people to really get in alignment in their work pillar as well. And then we have health flow. And this is probably one of my favorite because I focus mainly on your physical, mental, and emotional health. And the biggest reason for that is because I had my own come to Jesus moment in right before I met you, actually, in January of 2019, where because I was not dealing with everything that was going on mentally and emotionally, it manifested physically and
Mm,
left me in ICU fighting for my life,
mm,
literally fighting for my life. And so I really want to stress the importance of how important it is to take care of yourself physically, mentally, and emotionally. So that's a whole nother area. Um, and then, of course, we have faith flow. And so, there, I know that here we are Christian women, but I support women of all faiths
mhm,
because I
mhm.
believe that as long as you believe in a higher being, a higher purpose, then that's where you draw on for your faith. And so, really helping you to understand when you need to get a little bit more faith and how to really operate from a faith perspective. And then we have cash flow. And so there I focus a lot on mindset and building legacy. So, changing things generationally. What are you leaving, in terms of wealth for your family, for your children's children, all of those
Yeah,
different things. And so, really, again, getting in alignment in each and every one of those areas and helping you to be able to show up in excellence in every area of your life because they're all really interrelated.
time together. I think that is so good, Nicole. I think I like that faith flow. I like all the flows, honestly.
Thank
But
you.
what really sat with me is the faith flow because I feel like if you're not in alignment spiritually, everything
Mm,
gets off,
yep.
period.
Yep.
That alignment is so important because that alignment, what it does is, the word calls us to renew our minds, right?
Yep.
So when you are in alignment, spiritually and aligned, for me, my faith of obviously is with God. Other people
Mm-hmm.
have their different streams of faith, as you have said,
Yeah.
spirituality. But when I'm off, if I don't get up for devotional every morning, my
Mm,
whole day is jacked up.
mm-hmm.
I can't operate in the way I need to operate because I didn't spend that time with my father, right?
Yeah.
And it's like I be mad for no reason. Like, why am I even mad? Like
Because
somebody
you
just
ain't
look at me the
prayed,
wrong
you
way. I'm
didn't
like,
devote
what you
no
looking at
time.
me like that for? Like you just have a straight attitude because I ain't spent time with God.
Yeah.
Like I ain't spent time with my father to really get that peace of mind to be able to go. So I always encourage people, get up and just, even if it's a 5 minute prayer, get in the habit of praying and getting your mindset right before you walk into your day because you have no clue what your day is going to look like, and
Yeah.
you want to already be in that right headspace, right? So
Yeah.
that faith flow is so important. Without that spiritual alignment, nothing even matters. Your mind ain't gonna be right. Your
Nope.
heart's gonna be all jacked up. You're gonna have all
Yep.
kinds of stuff in your heart, period.
Yeah.
That trickles down into your workflow because your heart's not in it. Your performance at your job ain't gonna be right. When your
Yep.
performance at your job ain't right, man, your cash ain't right. You ain't getting them coins. When your coins ain't
Tell
right,
them,
you all
sis.
stressed out. With your edges falling out. I mean, let's be real.
Come on now. And
Come
we got
on now.
enough of our edges falling out with
We don't
COVID.
need
Like, we
that.
don't need no
We
more.
don't need no more. We don't need no physical issues, mental issues, emotional issues, because our coins ain't right. Because we ain't doing
No.
right at work. Our heart's jacked up. Our mind is jacked up
Exactly.
because our spiritual alignment is jacked up. That's where the problem is.
Yes. And I
So,
love that you say just take at least 5 minutes, right? Like,
mhm,
I real talk this morning. When, like I said, I got up and I was, running a little bit behind. I wanted to do X, Y, and Z, and I wasn't able to do it. So I found myself jumping into, ooh, let me go ahead and get this boy breakfast. Let me get some workout clothes on. Wait a minute, I think I need to do the dishes. And I was like, wait, I'll be back. I need 5 minutes. Came upstairs, I prayed, I took some deep breaths. I'm like, I need to get my life together. So
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't matter. Even if you find yourself, you 20, 30, 45, I don't care if it's 4 hours into the day. And then
Mm-hmm.
you realize you haven't taken
Mm-hmm.
that time. Once you start to get in the habit of that, when you don't do it, you like, something is off. What's
So
wrong?
messed up.
Yeah. Take a few minutes to get yourself together.
You
Just
have
take,
to.
all it takes is 5 minutes. That's it. And
Mm-hmm.
that is a form of self-care,
That sure is.
because so many people think that I've experienced anyway. Sorry, girl, this incense
Girl,
is
you
blowing.
fine.
So I
That's your
found that
self
so
care
many
right there.
people, it is, and I love it because it clears the energy. It makes me feel good. It smells amazing. But no, self care. So many people think or say, "Oh, it's not affordable," or "I don't have time to do self care and whatnot." But taking 5 minutes to breathe is free. Like taking 5 minutes to pray is free.
Mm-hmm.
That don't
Don't
cost
cost
you
you nothing.
nothing.
Don't cost you nothing.
So I just want to reiterate that.
It's good. Thank you for that reminder. It doesn't cost anything,
Yeah.
but if you don't do it, it's gonna cost you everything.
Girl, yes, everything. Like there's so many of us going back to capacity that are running around at max capacity and we
Hmm.
don't even know it because we keep saying yes to everybody around us because we
Hmm.
feel like, "Oh, I got enough energy. I've been running on fumes, so I can keep running on fumes." No, what happens to your car when it run out of gas? It quits.
It quits.
It quits. And so I want everybody to make sure that they are taking the time to measure that too. And I know we'll talk about the capacity calculator that I have later on,
Hmm.
or at least included in the replay or whatnot, but really just making everybody aware that they need to take that time to see where you're at before you start adding more stuff onto your plate.
Yeah,
Because when you don't realize how much you have on there and you keep adding stuff, that's how you end up out of
that's
gas
right.
on the side
That's
of the
right.
road.
That's right. And I just experienced that. That's when the new year, I am modifying my schedule. I've already talked to the private practice about it
Good.
because
We were talking about that. I'm so proud of you. Look
listen,
at
it was
you,
stressing me out. I'm like, I'm about to be a patient because y'all getting on my nerves.
girl. Don't you start.
I'm being honest. I'm being full blown transparent because we were talking about it. It was getting to the point where I'm tired after work, and I should not be feeling this way. I love what I do. I love my patients. I really believe this is part of my purpose.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not one of those people in a job that don't like. But the
Yeah.
same token, there's other aspects of my life. It's not just about my
Yes.
career, professional career. It's not just about my business. And you talked
Mm-hmm.
about a generational legacy and doing all those different things. I have to consider my son. I have to
Mm-hmm.
consider my health. I got to consider I'm a social butterfly. I like to go out and do stuff. Like I can't. I
And you
like to
need
go out
time,
and meet.
energy, and money to do that.
Listen, I like to go out, meet people, do all these different things. I can't be just laid up in bed, just tired all the time because
Yeah.
I want to work in that level. I can't do that.
Yeah.
So I when
Because it's
you and
not
I talked
sustainable,
about it,
right?
it's not,
It's not
yeah,
sustainable.
it's not sustainable. And I found myself when I started feeling the physical part, if you said the health flow, just being tired all
Mm-hmm.
the time. I'm Krabby Patty or whatever they call themselves. I'm just like, this ain't it. This is not even grace. Grace does not roll like being in bad moods and all that stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just, I have my moments, but that's not
Mm-hmm.
typically how I operate. I'm always bubbly, joyful, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm like, something has got to give. So I talked to them about modifying my schedule. And I just have to have faith that God's going to got me because I got to focus now on building my business. I got to focus on my family,
Yeah.
and spending time, that quality time with my son and doing the things I enjoy doing. The same thing I'm teaching the my clients, I'm practicing it in my life, So I was
Yeah.
like, you got to make a sacrifice somewhere, for
Yeah.
your overall being. I can't be everything to everybody. And I think,
No.
yeah.
And show up for yourself, like we keep saying, right? Like, and
Mhm.
so I just want to tell you again how proud of you I am for recognizing that because sometimes, like me, people kind of wave that off like, well, I'm just a little bit tired. or, I'm just going to do maybe 15 more minutes. It ain't going to hurt nothing. But you don't realize that your son is pulling at your leg, or,
Mhm.
you leaving your friends hanging, and just all these different things tend to build up, and you're not paying attention to that.
Right.
And one of the solutions, like you mentioned, is to do a modified schedule. So whether that is, um, taking less hours, or
Mhm.
doing like if you can, doing 10-hour shifts for 4 hours a day so that you have
Yep.
3-day weekends, and really talking to, and this is the HR coming out in me, because I've been in
I
HR
love
for
it.
over a decade. So reaching out to your HR people or your managers at work and saying, hey, I'm feeling real burnt out and overwhelmed right now, and I know everybody's saying that, but this is real, and I don't want to be no patient somewhere, so let me tell you what I need. Right?
It started affecting me mentally.
Yeah, it does, because you can't concentrate,
I
you can't
couldn't.
focus, your brain is wandering everywhere, and then
Mhm.
you're frustrated with yourself. Like, I know I had 25 things on this to-do list, but I've got none of them done. Sis,
Yeah.
because you burnt out. You can't
I'm burnt
focus.
out. I
Take a
started to
nap.
recognize that, and I'm in the space that I can't afford to not be able to focus. I got people's life in my hand. I'm prescribing
Yeah.
meds. I need to get their diagnosis right, and because I'm dealing with people with emotional trauma and all kinds of stuff, I need to
Mhm.
be in the present moment.
Yes.
I need to be empathetic, understanding, have active listening. How can I actively listen to what they're telling me or what they're not telling me? Because a lot of
Mhm.
times, a lot of the things find out from them is based on their nonverbal as I'm
Mhm.
observing them. I can't do that if I'm not mentally in the right headspace, if I'm fatigued. So I was
Yeah.
like, you know what, in 2021, this just gonna have to make some changes. And
Yeah.
I had a conversation with them, and thank God they was okay with it. So I reduced my schedule where I can have that Thursday and Friday
Come
off.
on, sis.
And so y'all
Be the
not
change you
gonna
want to
catch
see,
me.
right?
Y'all not catching me. I can't. Like this. I can't do it. Now I understand why people in healthcare, doctors, be burnt out. You
Yeah.
know,
That's how
I
mistakes
get it.
happen.
What'd you say?
That's how mistakes happen when you're running
Mm-hmm.
around burnt out, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
just really, again, being able to be aware and listening to yourself, listening to your body, and not feeling ashamed, because most of us women run around with this superwoman cape, right? Like, I shouldn't be tired, or I should be able to
Mm-hmm.
do X, Y, and Z. Sis, no, you're not. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to take a nap. It's okay
Yeah.
to rest. There's no
Yeah.
reward for running around being team no sleep. Like, where's
Listen,
that going to get you?
it ain't gonna get you nowhere. Oh, you're gonna be team no sleep, all right. If you don't
Like,
get
permanent sleep. And then,
permanently.
you
Hate
know,
to be morbid, but hey, it's
oh
the
my God,
truth.
it's the truth though, because when you don't practice self-care, I was just talking about this, like, it literally increases your mortality rate, right?
Yeah.
And think about the people that you're leaving behind. And I know that I'm saying practice self care for yourself, but also thinking about practicing self care for the people that you love. And
Right.
with me having a 17-year-old daughter and having 5 sisters, now I'm the oldest of all of my sisters, right? I want to teach them too, to be able to do this, to make it a practice, to make it important, to make it a priority. Because for so long, I love my mom, I love my aunties, my grandmothers, all of them. But the way that they were raised is a little bit different. They had to be team no sleep and do all of that. We don't have to do that now. So let's change the trajectory.
Yeah. That's a good point that you made, because me being a single mom, my son has seen it. You know what I'm saying? He's seen me rip and run. He's seen the struggle. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I went back to school at 27. I went back to school at a later age. So I tell people all the time, listen, it don't
Me
matter
too.
if you 50, 60, you do what you got to do. So he's seen me the struggle, and I tell people all the time, I share my story to tell people like, man, it ain't easy, but you can do it when you put your mind to it. But your kids are also
Yes.
watching you, and he's seen me go back to school, didn't have a car, was catching a bus, catching a metro just to get to school, drop him off at daycare. All he's seen
Yep.
me is hustle and bustle, and I don't want him to think that that's the way to live life. Granted, I'm not saying don't grind and don't work for what you have, but there has
Mm-hmm.
to be a balance, right? I don't
For
want
a
my
season,
son
right?
seeing
Not
right.
all the time.
Not all right. So I don't want him seeing, oh, all my mom does is work and do her business. I don't know. I want him to be able to see the recreational side. I want him to be able to see there's peace and joy. Because what's the purpose of us working this hard and we're not even enjoying the present moment? We're
Yep.
not enjoying the things that don't cost money.
Yeah.
Quality time it doesn't cost any money.
No.
Building that generational legacy, as you said, may not necessarily also look like just wealth and monetary, but it could be
Hmm.
like the memories, the experiences, different things like that your kids will carry
Yeah.
on for their kids, building those values, right?
I'm
So
laughing because my
those
husband
things
and I were
matter.
just having this conversation.
Really? Well,
Yes.
that's
And
confirmation.
yeah,
The
because
Lord
it's like,
spoke.
listen, you can make any amount of money that you want to make, but you
Mm-hmm.
don't get time back. You don't get
Mm-mm.
memories back. And
Mm-mm.
if you too sick and tired to get out of bed because you're giving yourself to everybody else, including your job, including your
Yeah,
family, including your friends, you're not really able to be there and be in the present moment, right? And
that's
so
right.
I love that you say that. I just
That's
love it.
right. That's right. So, Nicole, this how you just explained how you manage capacity. So,
Mhm.
what do you actually do for your clients? Like, what services do you offer for your clients, and different things like that?
Yes. So I am actually launching my group coaching program towards the end of next month. So stay tuned for that. And it's going to be an 8-week course where we go through my proprietary method that helps you really get in alignment in all of those different pillars. In addition to that, I do offer one-on-one coaching, and I'm doing some sort of like some power hours, like a 90-minute session that you get with me, and you get to pick one of those different 5 areas of flow to figure out where you need to work on the most. And so I am offering discovery calls right now for free. Folks can go directly to my website to book some time with me for that. But yeah, I'm working with again, individuals already, and then I'm opening up my group coaching towards the end of next month.
I
So super excited about that.
you man, the women are going to be blessed. Okay, because
Yeah,
I was blessed. It was only like 30 minutes. I got so much nothing from this. I'm so excited.
it's so
That's
sweet.
amazing. Where can people get in contact with you as far as like social media or anything like that? Where can people?
Yes, absolutely. So here on Facebook, it's just Nicole Rhone. That's my business page. On Instagram at Nicole_Rhone. And then in my bio, you click the link and you can get to my podcast, which is Flow and Flourish. So if you have not listened to that, make sure you go check that out because Grace is going to be on there in the new year as
I
well.
sure will.
Yes. In addition to that, my website, right? So all the information on the different programs that I offer, how to get in contact with me. Again, Facebook, Instagram, my website. Check out the podcast, and then I'm also doing lives every Friday, my Flow Fridays, where it's either myself or a guest that's been on the podcast, where we're doing a live Q&A to talk about all these different things, because I firmly believe we all need each other in community, because so many of us are suffering in silence and feel like, she don't understand what I'm going through, but yeah, we do. So
Yeah.
that's where you can
That
find me.
Awesome, awesome. That community you talked about is so important. You cannot do life by yourself. We were created to have connections, and that when you brought up about the self care, just having that support and that accountability in your becoming process is so important. When you have your sister friend, whoever there with
Hmm.
you, can help you go a lot faster, further than you doing it by yourself. So I'm glad that
Yes.
you are. I'm a big about sisterhood.
Yeah.
I'm just big about friendships and sisterhood and being in alignment with like-minded people and just helping each other. That's what it's about. So that's amazing.
Yes.
Thank you for that. Everyone go check out Nicole. Y'all just
Yes.
got little snippets of
Just a
Nicole.
snippet.
Okay.
And
Y'all
check
just got a
your
snippet.
capacity too. I want to remind you to do that. So if you can get to it from my website. You can also get to it directly from Instagram, but you can just DM me, message me, and I can send you the link to it as well. And it's just maybe like a 5-10 minute survey that you take that really gives you results to let you know where you are capacity wise, in case you think that, oh, I got a whole bunch of capacity. You might be surprised. So
That's
reach out
so
to me so you can check that
that
out too.
is so good. Yeah, check that out. I too am dropping some things. I'm working on
Come
some things
on
in
now.
2021. However, what I do have right now is a mini training. So it's the first Master Your Life mini training. It's a private training that I did previously. It is recorded. It's
Mm,
actually free. You can download that. It's at womanarise.co/mini training. For those who are watching, you can actually get it now. I will be um, posting about it next week. However, for the live, I will go ahead and put it out there. So it's womanarise.co/mini training. So it just gives you a framework on how to actually master your life, because the idea
mhm.
is we incorporate the self-care in there. When you don't have a master of your life, it's hard to incorporate self-care. It's hard to be
Yeah.
able to flow in your job, flow in your personal relationships, whatever it is that you're looking to do if you do not have a
Mhm.
master of your life. So this is a great framework. So go ahead and check it out. Download it. It is free. Okay. So go ahead and download it and also subscribe to my list so you can be able to know all the upcoming events and things that I am doing.
Yes.
Okay.
Y'all don't sleep on Grace. Let me just tell y'all didn't even really get an opportunity to hear from her, but what she is doing and who she is helping and the story behind where she's been and where she is now, I really encourage you to make sure that you are following her and staying tuned to what she has going on. And I just want to thank you again for sharing your space with me so that we can reach this common goal of helping all these other women get their lives together and really make self-care a priority and a regularity.
Thank you so much, girl. Listen, you're not gonna have me teared up in here. I just got did this makeup right. You're not got to
Don't
no.
you
This is
start.
what you're gonna do. Don't you start. I appreciate your kind words. I appreciate your kind words. So I didn't know if anyone had any questions for us. We have some good stuff in here.
Yeah.
Joy says she's gonna check out your podcast.
Okay,
Your
Joy.
husband shouted you out. See, how be on it.
Thank
Oh,
you,
that's right.
sir.
He on it.
So Joy just finished up a 5-day challenge. So I just had the pleasure and the honor of coaching hundreds of women on Patrice Washington's platform. So she just recently
Wow.
opened up her she had a Created for Purpose challenge, and she opened up seats for her Purpose to Platform group. And so Joy came from over there, and it was just 5 days of all kinds of goodness. And so Joy, thank you for coming and tuning in. But yeah, just coached hundreds of ladies this week, and it was such a joy
Amazing.
and honor to be able to help these women have some light bulbs go off and remove some mindset roadblocks.
Mm,
It's been amazing.
mhm. And that's the whole purpose, right? The whole purpose is just to serve to our capacity, right?
Yes. Get
Serve
your capacity right and make room, right? The
mhm,
last thing I want people to think about is, what are you making room for?
right.
And what do you have room for already? Because if
Mhm,
you're at max and you're trying to start a new business, or have a better relationship with yourself or other people, do you even have the room to do that? So think about that.
wow. Wow. Your husband said Coach Nicole was grinding 5 days straight. I know
I
that's
was,
right.
listen, checking people homework, responding, and I'm still going
Wow.
through and just really thoughtfully, because these women are pouring their hearts out, right? And it's
Right.
a safe space to do that, and really trying to figure out what the next best steps are. But yeah, and
Mhm.
I'm still in it to win it. So for those
I
of
know
you who are
that's
watching
right.
this and I ain't responded yet, I'm still coming for you, okay?
I better watch them edges.
Listen, Joy will tell you.
They ain't playing. She just wants you guys to be excellent, do well. A
Yeah.
great coach, a great teacher is going to guide you. You know what I mean? And when we're not hard on you just to like we're just hard on you. We see something in you, and we're trying to help you bring birth that thing out. So we're going to push certain places to stretch you because it's about being challenged. If you're not
Yes.
challenged, you ain't never going anywhere. That's life. If you do
Yes.
not get challenged, you are never going to get anywhere because you're going to be too comfortable. And sometimes you got to get uncomfortable. Sometimes you got to be stretched, right?
Tell them, sis.
It's
Yes.
just like a diamond. A diamond don't become a diamond just sitting there. It goes through pressure. It's crushed. So if you want to birth that purpose or birth whatever it is that you're trying to do, you are going to be stretched and you're going to be challenged. And that's what it's going to take. So when she's coming at you guys, trying to get you guys to see what she sees in you, it's only for you guys to be a better person. I hope what I said empowers somebody. Okay. So when we hard
You
on
just
y'all, we're
empowered
not
me,
just hard
girl.
on y'all. What'd you say?
I said you just re-empowered me.
Listen,
Cause
I can say a few good words here and there. You know what I'm saying? Lord be using me. Yep, your husband gotta get uncomfortable, get comfortable. Listen, it ain't easy. Every single one of us on these platforms aren't just for us just to come here and just to run our mouths or look at
yeah,
me or whatever. We God has put us in this place and position to help other people because of what we went through. We're trying to save y'all pretty much from really going through all that. Yes, you're going to have your own
yeah.
challenges. Yes, you're going to have your own stories. And yes, you're going to have your own problems and things and struggles you're going through. But if we
Mm-hmm.
can save y'all from really making unnecessary mistakes that we made, that's what we're going to do. So we're putting ourselves out
Yes,
there and being vulnerable and showing the good and bad and ugly of us because
all
we
of
want to
it.
make sure that you don't make those same mistakes that we made. If you could avoid it, by all means, avoid it. So that's the
Yeah.
reason why we share these things with you. It ain't just for us to just be up here running our mouths, okay?
No, it's
Sure
because
ain't.
we have a duty and an obligation to help
Mm-hmm.
other people who have been where we're at, right? Because we
Exactly.
know what it's like to go through the things that we've been through. And I
Mm-hmm.
always say, helping at least one person, that's what
Mm-hmm.
I'm here for, right? If I
That's
can
all we're
help
here
one
for.
person deal with the self-esteem or the
Mm-hmm.
self-confidence or leave the
Mm-hmm.
unhealthy relationship and
Yes.
really get in alignment and create that balance,
Mm-hmm.
that's what I'm here for. Like
That's
that
all
is my
we're here for.
purpose. So thank
Absolutely.
you for saying that.
Yes. One of my missions is transform one mindset at a time. Transform lives by one mindset at a time. It's all
Yes.
about that one. You know,
Yes.
the words God left the 99 just to find that one, right?
Listen.
So that's what he did, right? And even if one person is saved, I really believe that we are called to be multipliers, right?
Hmm.
So when we empower you, then you take that and empower someone else. Then they take and empower someone else. That's how you build a village.
Yep.
That's how
That's
you
that
build that
ripple effect.
legacy, that ripple effect. Okay, so when we help one person, we don't know where that person is even going to take that. So they may not even take it right now and then, but that word they might resurface years from now. you
Yes.
know it may be that harvest, you will reap that harvest years from now. So it's about sowing. So when Nicole and I are speaking and saying these things, is not for our benefit, really. you
It's
know
for
we,
yours. It's to help
we want
you.
to help you. We want to help you so you can help somebody, because God don't bless us for us. He blesses us to help somebody be blessed, and then they get blessed and help someone else get blessed. That's how it works.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll take everything that she's saying to you and start applying it to your life. Trust me, you may not see the benefits now, but you will see the benefits eventually if you don't give up. Galatians 6:9. Go read it. Don't give
Tell
up.
them, sis.
Don't give up. Don't give up. Keep sowing. Keep sowing. All right. So that's it for tonight. I will thank you again, Nicole. I really, really appreciate you taking your time. You could have been anywhere today, but you chose to be on this platform, and I appreciate you so much, girl. Thank you for all the wisdom, the nuggets that you poured. I'm about to apply everything that you just said. I love it. I love it. I love it. So I'll be back actually next month with another guest. We're still going at the kinks of what the topic is going to be, but once we get that together, then she said, making me open the Bible. Yes, sis, that's a
Exactly.
word for you. Let me put your comment up there
Come
and see if
on,
anybody
Joy.
else needs to open up the good word. See, when the Lord starts flowing in me, I just start talking. So next month, I'm gonna bring someone else in. So I have a lot going on for the Balanced Lifestyle Series in 2021. So just go ahead and follow and like Smile Biz LOC so you can keep track of when I do these shows.
Yeah.
Because you never know who's gonna be on here. It's gonna be pouring
And
into you.
I'm
So
always sharing your stuff. I'm posting you on my
yes,
stories as well
thank
because
you.
I
you.
know
Thank
each and every
you.
one of our own stories is what drives people to us. And so,
Right.
I'm here to support. I'm joining, and y'all look out
Yes.
for her because these
Yes.
balanced lifestyles, especially right now, literally trying to create that balance, you need all the tools in your tool belt that you can get. So,
Right. Right. That's amazing. All right, you guys. Well, I will catch y'all on the next episode. Thank you so much.
yes.
You guys have
Thank
a
you
good
for
evening.
having me. I
You're
appreciate
welcome.
you.
I'll talk to you soon. All
See
right. Bye bye.
ya.
Bye bye.